directors on the board of ITA, distinguished speakers who have graciously accepted our invitation to be with us today, members of ITA, the Executive Director, Dr. Rakshit, and the Secretariat of ITA, the moderator, Ms. Nishika, and to all other guests and invitees present over here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm wishing you a very, very warm welcome once again to this afternoon session on the 10th AGM of the Indian Technical Textile Association. There are many firsts for all of us in this year, and this video conferencing mode is a first for everybody. Well, it's not exactly a first. I'm sure we have become all masters and veterans at video conferencing, but to do an AGM of this on this platform is a first for all of us. In fact, we had the opportunity to conduct the AGM in September as per original schedule, but we decided at that point to defer it to December just to see in case whether things would ease up and we can actually have a physical meeting. But that was not to be so, and hence we have decided that within the stipulated time frames that we have to do this, we've decided to come on a video conferencing. I see a wonderful attendance, so probably things are for the better. As we come to the end of another year, and what an unforgettable year it is, it's my pleasure to say that ITA has been at the forefront of responding to this crisis at a national level. PPE, PPE, PPE. I think that is the mantra in everybody's mouth. And justifiably so. While all the other sectors of the technical textile industries have generally done well and contributed to the growth of the nation, the PPE response has been nothing less than a miracle. To recapitulate on what happened from my eyes as chairman ITA, since I had an inside view of what has happened in the last 6 months, somewhere in around the 12th of March, we received a communication from the Textile Ministry saying that we require this type of a PPE that is certified by CITRA. How do we do it? At that point of time, there was not a single manufacturer making that particular product in India. On the 18th of March, I remember actually offering about 100,000 meters and the Textile Ministry just standing up and for them 100,000 meters at that point of time was crucial. It was make or break. That was the situation we were in. Where we have come since then is a journey that you're all very well aware of. On multiple forums, ITA has been feted for the work of its members, of repurposing machines, of completely and very quickly moving into areas which they were not comfortable with, of people beginning to laminate membranes, all kinds of membranes, polyethylene membranes, polyurethane membranes, and crossing the standards, threshold standards that CITRA had set, of very quickly ramping up capacity so that the garmenting manufacturers like AEPC and others could have enough feedstock of material. In the initial days, the discussions that were happening at the Government of India level was that we have got the garmenters, but we might not have the fabric producers within India to actually come out and make this a reality. We very soon dispelled the notion. As a group, we completely dispelled that notion by giving them more fabrics than they can use. And today the journey continues as people get into exports. I salute each and every one of our members who have been part of this drive. You truly define the Indian spirit of entrepreneurship, and we are a case study today for many people to follow. Even last week, I was in a invitation event by the Institute of Competitiveness, where the ministry, the Honorable Minister was there, the Secretary was there, where ITA's contribution was recognized on making this whole thing a success. We are in the spotlight, ladies and gentlemen. Today, the Indian public, the Indian government, and every other sector in the technical textile industry looks at us as the torchbearers of technology and as the companies that are going to define the future. We should not let them down. In fact, The bar has been set high, but I'm sure we'll all cross that bar very easily. In the process of supporting the domestic PPE manufacturing sector within the country, ITA has also, on multiple forums, represented the cause of exporters, be it at the level of masks, at the level of laminated fabrics, at the level of PPE. We have been relentless in working with the government to come out with a balanced solution of catering to both Indian needs as well as taking care of our exports. We continue to very vociferously request them to lift the ban on melt-blown fabrics, and I'm given indications that will happen very soon. But national sentiments and conservatism seem to prevail over whatever representations we are making at this point of time. But that has not stopped us by keeping on going and hitting our head against the wall, because every one of our members' interests is what is in our mind, foremost in our mind. Today, as we come to the what I would say the second or third phase of this pandemic, and as a vaccine cure seems to be an end, we have created a completely new segment of 7,000 or 8,000 crores, and that segment wouldn't be there except for the fabrics that we have given. We have rebounded in most of the segments that we see. The defense industry, because of various reasons, has also increased its procurement. So those industries that are catering to defense purposes are also going to have a great year going forward. And on multiple fronts, we think overall the Indian technical textile industry is going to have a great time. To specifically come to some of the points of ITA's engagement with the government, as you all know, we were part of the original discussions and recommendations on which the National Mission on Technical Textiles for 1,480 crores was formed. Today, the NMTT comprises of multiple steering committees to lay out the vision and execute the vision that has been in the NMTT. And you would be glad to know that ITA, through the chairman, is represented at the Apex committee levels itself. So we know what's happening. We will be able to guide our people better. And we also have a stake in terms of deciding how the policy goes. ITA, as you all know, has also been interested in creating the technical textile EPC. And we have made our applications and representations for the same. And we think probably in the month of January, we should have an idea what's happening. Ladies and gentlemen, there is an unprecedented amount of focus on the government on growing technical textiles. It started with our HSN codes last year. It started now, it's with the NMTT. There is a high level of engagement with the government. You would have all heard about the PLI scheme, the Productivity Linked Incentive Scheme. That scheme is going to be in vogue. While the first cut has been seen, it is also going through multiple iterations. So I don't want to exactly comment on the specifics, but it's aimed at large industries who are established to actually grow on a multifold based upon significant government incentives. Here, I would like to say that out of 40 sectors that have been identified across the country, 30 sectors are in the garmenting space and 10 segments are in the technical textile space. And I'm happy to say that the technical textile recommendations given by ITA have been verbatim published as the technical textile sectors the government of India is looking at as the focus product sectors. Also, in addition to the PLI scheme, the government of India is looking at creating international linkages to both grow the profile of technical textiles, Indian technical textiles, as well as to bring international testing agencies into the country. ITA mooted an idea which has been taken up by the government, and today the government of India is working with the government of Telangana to create world-class testing labs and centers in the state of Telangana. We believe this activity, if it comes to fruition, would ensure that turnaround times for testing would drastically reduce for Indian manufacturers, as well as these globally accredited companies and labs would help in giving knowledge sharing, as well as in lending credibility to Indian technical textile manufacturers as a whole for suppliers and customers around the globe. ITA continues to very closely work with the BIS in multiple forums and with the Textile Commissioner's Office and with various agencies of the Textile Ministry. There has been a very significant board level involvement on a sectoral basis at all levels. And we have, I'm happy to say, a very strong and participative board, and my profound thanks to them for all their support and guidance as the office bearers propel ITA forward. We need to wait for Corona to end and travel to start before we actually start all the other physical engagements and other events that have come to characterize what we have done. But I'm sure it is only a matter of time before things get back to normal and the technical textile industry is fully back on its feet and, in fact, running forward. It has been a very fruitful year for me. One of the agenda points on this particular AGM is that we are here to ratify changes to the Articles of Association of ITA. This has already been approved unanimously at the board level. And this is going to lead to a more transparent and democratic process and make ITA a rejuvenated and vibrant organization for the future. This is something that I will be presenting very shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to a level where multiple state governments are engaging with us. They are asking us for advice. Tamil Nadu, Telangana, I wouldn't like to name everybody. They are asking us how to actually change their schemes, what is the way for technical textiles to develop in their areas and all that. This is a time there is a high level of attention, like I said before. Also, there is a very high level of belief and trust that the foremost organization that can achieve this in India is ITA. Your organization goes from strength to strength, ladies and gentlemen, and it has been a pleasure steering it forward. At this point, I thank my Vice Chairman, Amit Agarwal, for a wonderful year, for being more than a pillar of support. In fact, very often stepping into my shoes and doing the job of a chairman and being there whenever I needed him, and even more than that. I thank my board of directors who have been unstintingly supportive. Every single one of them, it will be too long to name them. Every single one of them have been outstanding in their support. ED Dr. Rakshit has been working tirelessly in promoting the cause of ITA, even though he had some personal time off or health break. He still was working all the time. I can see a high level of dedication from him as well as from members of the Secretariat, and they will help steer ITA future in the years to come. I thank every one of you for being here. We will be doing a very crisp and quick business session now. And then I know you're all waiting to hear from the experts who have come on board to talk to us today. So thank you all very much. It's a pleasure.